Omi says enthusiastically exposed bones of her face clattering. Chunks of her body are missing, as though something's been nibbling on her. It makes her look a lot thinner. She's been worried about her weight recently, but now she shouldn't need to diet.
そういえばオミってこの間初めてスケートやったんだって
Wait, what? Fuminori laughs at Omi's crazy suggestion. What? Sounds amused, but it's hard to tell from his expression since his face is being cleaved in two by an axe.
20歳になって初体験ってのは興味そうそういないんじゃないかな
子供の頃はなんとなく怖かったのよ。あの靴なんだか刃物みたいでさ。
わかるあの靴で顔を蹴られたらきっと僕みたいになっちゃうよね
Omi and Yo laugh at Fuminori's dumb joke. Yo never used to laugh with such exuberance. She seems truly happy now that she and Fuminori are officially together. What the fuck is this? Is he just tripping the fuck out?
でもいきなり蹴って殺せたの？オミちゃんすごくない？
容量はバットとそう変わるもんじゃないからな思い切り振り回して斧頭の重さに任せて叩きつける感覚とか
文則にそう言われたもんだからさ騙されたと思ってやってみたわけよそうしたらもう楽しくって
What is this feeling? Something is wrong. But Koji can't put his finger on what? Well, everything.
私も見てみたいなオミちゃんが食べられるところ
What? Ah, that's it. When he sees Yo's envious smile, Koji finally realizes what's bothering him.
なあつくば
どうしたのコウジ君
お前だけなんで普通なんだ
Yo tilts her head quizzically like she doesn't understand what he means.
普通って私はいつも普通だけど
でもお前確かあの時
ああ
Yo nods in understanding.
なんだ私がコウジ君と違う姿になってた頃のことずいぶん昔の話じゃない
昔なのか
そうだよ
She replies, deflecting Koji's confusion with that uncanningly cheerful smile. She's not the only one confused here.
だってコウジ君も今じゃ私たちの仲間じゃない
One of us, one of us. Oh, of course. Koji looks down and is satisfied to see wriggling tentacles where his arms and legs should be. When he opens his eyes, his mattress and pillows are soaked in sweat, so that was just a horrific nightmare. That was clearly a play on the very first scene of this novel where they were talking about skiing, but taking it in a darker direction and had it so that, it's basically Koji that's experiencing the, seeing everything in a fucked up way. He opens his eyes, his mattress and pillow are soaked in sweat. So it was the same nightmare. He doesn't know how many times he's had it. At least he's not leaping out of bed screaming anymore. He sits up, clutching his throbbing head. It's 4 in the morning. He hadn't had nearly enough rest, but he probably won't be able to get back to sleep tonight. So, obviously wouldn't be identical to that. But, that was Tanbo as well. She had, horrific nightmares that's disturbed her, so he's kind of going through a similar thing. I want to be able to go back to sleep tonight, so I'm for a smoke. A full pack will last him until dawn. Now, where did he put the packs he bought yesterday? Koji wanders sleepily into the den where yet another old friend is waiting for him.
ひどいありさまだね。まったく。
ああ、先生。いたんですか
He's dead, though. Erga's chopped up corpse is sitting at his dining table, looking as deathly pale as she sips coffee from a mug, yeah. I guess this is basically Koji succumbing to the madness of it all.
毎晩ずいぶんと辛そうじゃないか。ろくに眠れてないんだろ
そうでもないですよ。薬を飲めば割となんとかなります。
Koji says, grimly as he sits down across from her. Hallucinations like these are easier to deal with than elaborate nightmares like the one he just had. They should probably worry him more, though.
あの時私の忠告を聞き入れてれば、ここまで追い詰められることなんてなかっただろうに。
もうやめましょうよ、それは。過ぎたことじゃないですか。
Reka chuckles, smiling the same cruel, manic smile that she used to when she was alive. Left arm hangs from her half-severed shoulder, dangling like a forgotten wind chime.
そう。結構折り合いをつけてるんだ。
先生だってそうだったんでしょう。普段は優秀な脳外科医で通用してたんだから。
上辺だけ取り繕うだけなら、そんなに難しいことじゃないからね。
The corpse shrugs her intact right shoulder and grimaces in disgust as she takes another sip of her coffee.
でもね、多分この先はもっと悪くなるよ。心の傷は時間が癒してくれるけど、君はまあ、言ってみれば、毒に感染したようなものだから。
She's probably right. Everyone dreams at night, no matter how dim the memories may get, the nightmare will always be there to tear into Koji with fresh fangs. Insanity that's taken root in his heart will grow, eventually consuming everything that's left inside of him.
俺の場合、先生っていう前例を見て学んでますからね。抜かりはありませんよ。
へえ、そうなの。
Koji nods, smiling confidently, then stands and walks to the bathroom, where he retrieves the weapon that he keeps hidden behind the mirror. Ogai's revolver, the one souvenir that Koji brought back from the Yellow World that night.
ものすごい苦労したんですけど、結局ようやくその筋の人と渡りをつけましてね。弾も買ってあります。驚きましたよ。銃そのものより高いなんて。
おやおや。
In the mirror, Koji sees Ryoko with her axe-inflicted gash reversed. She raises her mug in a toast to Koji's resourcefulness. Why do we not get CG for something like that? That'd be quite a sight.
で、何発買ったわけ？弾は。
一発だけです。
This time it's Koji who shrugs his shoulders. He uses both, exercising his privilege as a
そ
survivor.
れ以上必要になるような状況は、俺は願い下げなんで。
ふん。
The corpse in the mirror nods sagely, her smile
ほ
approving.
んと、わきまえてるんだね、殿くん。
There's a brief silence. Koji doesn't really feel like getting all melancholy with a dead woman.
ねえ先生、いい加減ファミレスのコーヒーはやめましょうよ。なんなら新しいの入れますから。
When Koji turns around halfway through his sentence, he realizes that the room is empty, but full of sounds of the night. And so Koji returns to the world of the sane. He lights his first cigarette of the night and takes a deep drag. While sitting alone in his den, puffing on his smoke, he stares at the gun in his hand. Knows just how precarious a cliff he's standing on. Yes, the final line of which Koji and Broko spoke is now one step behind him. Koji no longer has anything to protect his soul. Now that Ogai and Masahiko's fantasies and Tanbo Ryoku's delusions have all become tangible horrors, knows what insanity and despair truly are. Back in the real world, Sakasaka Fuminori is wanted for several gruesome murders. It didn't take long for someone to discover the stockpiles of human meat in the empty Sakasaka and Suzumi homes. 2 refrigerators were found the remains of Suzumi Yosuke, his wife and daughter, and Takahata Omi. You found the clothes and other effects of Tsukuba Yo, but weren't able to locate any traces of her among the various body parts. The fact that made Koji's nightmares all the more vivid. Suppose that's why in his nightmares she appears as normal then. Dr. Tanbo Ryoko of the T University Hospital vanished mysteriously around the same time. Because she was Fuminori's chief physician, the police have been investigating her connection to his crimes. As for the 2 corpses secretly buried in the backyard of a certain ruin, well, they'll probably never be found. This incident will become just another cold case. So did he bury them after that? Koji alone... Wait. Of course, the sickly buried in the backyard of a certain ruin. Yeah, so he must have buried them. Koji alone knows what really happened, and he has no intention of revealing it. Not now, not ever. Guy's writings were not nonsense, which means that everything else was. What fool was it who said that men are the lords of creation? Those who can believe in paltry things like human wisdom and valor are those lucky innocents who have not looked into the abyss. Koji can no longer share in their blessed ignorance. He knows he has been defiled by the insanity called truth, and he will never believe again. If he has been poisoned, as Ryoku's ghost said, then that poison is none other than the truth itself. Just as a pure oxygen is harmful to the body, the naked truth has the power to destroy men's minds. Only by diluting it with lies and taking it in small doses can humans maintain a healthy soul.
どんなに世界が底抜けにめちゃくちゃになっていこうと。
Words once spoken by the living Tanbo Ryoku passed through Koji's mind.
悲鳴を上げて逃げ回る以外の選択肢が自分にはある。
That without a doubt was the comfort that she kept hidden in her bosom, the only thing that allowed her to face her dreams each night. Koji has taken his predecessor's lesson to heart. He's prepared for anything. One bullet is always behind the bathroom mirror, promising him salvation. Interesting. That was kind of foreshadowed, and that was the spoiler I heard. I guess the spoiler didn't specify that he does, but I remember reading a spoiler online saying that, something about, Koji and suicide. So I imagine that's what it is. It's hinted at. I mean, it was foreshadowed a few times, but he didn't kill himself, though, there. It's just there just in case. Because, if the nightmares get too much for him and he's just like the insanity gets too much, he can always just shoot his brains out, I guess. But hey, Koji and Tanbo, they saved the world. Kind of feel bad for Saya. But I don't feel bad for Fuminori, he's still a fuckhead in my mind. At least there's finally an ending where he actually dies. So the world was saved at the cost of Tanbo's life and Koji's sanity. And Yo's life as well, I suppose. Because like right at the end I was like, is this gonna be like some twist where it's like Saya is still alive and that she's just put Koji in some kind of madness thing? But I guess in this ending she really does die and Fuminori follows after. It's like, it's Romeo and Juliet, it's so romantic, couldn't live without a dream. Oh, fuck it. Fuck Fuminori, piece of shit. I stand by that. He's still a piece of shit. It's like, that's the thing, the story's a tragedy, but I just can't really sympathize much with Fuminori after what he has done throughout the story. He's a piece of shit. Can still feel some sympathy for Saya because even though she's... she's basically fucked things up on a couple occasions. She killed Omi after all, and she, led Suzumi to go completely mad, and stuff like that. But she's just, she's just existing, and trying to live. But, the end goal was basically to take over the world. So, she would have to have died for, the world to live on as it was. So, I guess that's that. Where would it be? And that's all the CGs. In fact, this is on the last page, so does that mean the apocalypse ending is the true ending, or is there no true ending? I don't know. I much prefer the ending we just got. That comment was right, saying you probably like the other ending better. It's just like, it's not the apocalypse thing that bugs me about that ending, it's the fact that smug twat Fuminori lived. If he had died and then the apocalypse happened, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. I just can't stand that Fuminori got a happy ending there. It's like, fuck that guy. So I got all the CGs now. Just like, let's have a cup of coffee and discuss madness. Do you know what madness is, Koji? Madness is not being able to sleep at night without a machete or a sawn-off shotgun at your bedside table, just in case the nightmares get too much. And Koji's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, until he got to the end, and then he's like, oh, I totally understand now. Now it's weird. Well, I guess it makes sense, because, you know, she was basically obliterated, so Fuminori wouldn't be able to hold her in her arms. But it is kind of sad how, you know, even at the very end, it shows Saya probably really did truly care about Fuminori. Fuminori obviously cared about her too, but if Fuminori knew what she truly looked like and saw her that way from the start, that would have never happened. So I feel it feels more genuine on Saya's part than Fuminori's. I mean, Fuminori obviously would do anything for her, murder, destroy the world, whatever. But I feel like that's a part of him just perceiving her the way she was. If he didn't perceive her the way she was, he wouldn't have, you know, fallen head over heels for her like that. I like how it's actually kind of like moves like that. Look at that insanity right there. Just like, no, Fuminori, I'm sick of your shit. You're not getting a happy end. This must end here. Bang. Feel bad for Saya? Not so bad for Fuminori. Bang. He's like, what? Did that just really happen? Oh well, guess I might as well bash my head in with an axe. And that's a pretty brutal way to go out. So the bodies, he said buried. I imagine it was probably Fuminori and Tanbo that he buried, because I can't imagine him trying to bury Yo or Saya, well, whatever was left of Saya after that. Or even Yo after that, because they were basically like eldritch abominations to him, so you wouldn't be like, yeah, let's bury these as well. And this story is fucked up. So this recording has gone on an hour 40 odd minutes, so you know, I guess the issue I had was, you know, I'll be uploading the first part of this record session, you know, what day is it today? It's the 19th, which is Thursday. Yeah, it'd be Monday, I think, when that part be uploaded. And, you know, I've got a record for Rune Factory Oceans, because, like, I'll be uploading Rune Factory Oceans part 172. It's like, 172? Bloody hell, that's a long Let's Play. And, you know, Digimon will next order 2 days after that. And I haven't got any other full recordings done for those, so I have to do more record sessions, which would then in turn have to edit them as well. So I'm kind of glad that I can take my time with this, you know. I can edit it all. It's just, at the end of a Let's Play, if you're new to how I end a Let's Play, I have an After LP Talk thing, right? I have, like, the mascots of the channel kind of like, you know, talk about the game, and maybe have a cat from the game come into it and be like, hey, what do you think of this? I've kind of got an idea of what to do there. Because, like I said, it's just like, I feel like, you know, writing alternative endings or something like that. But, you know, I'm kind of satisfied with the ending there. It's like, it's, you know, it's tragic. But, you know, at least that piece of shit Fuminori died. That's all that matters. But, yeah, I just like how, like, the character's back. Hey, let's come up with alternate scenarios. So this, what do you think of this ending? And then, like, maybe edit together, like, an alternate ending or two. I think I'll have Saya be the guest character on that. It's just like, after each ending, I have like the outcomes to just be like, do we have to die in each of these endings? Can't we have an ending where we just live happily ever after? I don't know. Just random shit like that, and, you know, give general thoughts on the novel. It's like, My thoughts on the novel are kind of mixed. I don't really know what to quite make of it. I think it's a pretty, neat story. Very disturbing. I guess I enjoyed it to an extent. Because, some moments that made me feel like very uncomfortable. It's just like, ugh. But I guess that's intentional, isn't it? It's quite a dark, depressing, fucked up story that makes even the Higurashi, series seem a bit tame. Well, I say that, but there's some really fucked up scenes in the Higurashi series too. I mean, what were they? Watanagashi and its Ansarok Merakashi. Those ones were pretty damn fucked up. But yeah, like I said, in this record session, the next Let's Play will be Deathmark. Don't know where I'll start on that, and the interesting thing about Deathmark is, unlike this, I actually own it on the PS4, so I'll actually be using my capture card to record for it, which will be awkward for, syncing up the audio, because there's not really much voice acting in that novel. And another issue with that is, I've mentioned it on my main channel. I think I mentioned it in my Digimon World Next Order LP. For whatever reason, my controller seems like kind of glitchy with the game, where it'll just like press up on the D-pad a lot, which is really hard when you're in moments where it's like, pick the right choice or you will die. So that kind of plays up every now and then, so that's going to be annoying when I get around to that. Don't know when I'll start that Let's Play, but it isn't going to be like a long months between Let's Plays, because I've already kind of decided on what to Let's Play next, so yeah. Might also, I don't know, have a bonus part or something for this Let's Play, I don't know. See how it goes when, it comes to editing and when I, write out the script for the After LB Talk. It's like, because I'm kind of tempted to write a song. It's like, when this Let's Play started, this music right here kind of inspired me. It was just like, okay, let's write a song. Like, keep it not a joke song, like proper serious. But then I was like, I want to kind of write a joke song as well at the same time. And I feel like I'd be more comfortable with that, because, I don't know, it feels like if it's naturally just silly and stupid, and easier, it's like you don't have to take it too seriously kind of thing. And I just like, the working title for that would be Fuminori Sucks. The chorus would basically be saying those lyrics over and over again. Fuminori Sucks! I don't know how it would sound vocally. It's like I've thought of lyrics, like I mentioned, lyric is like, if all else fails, Cthulhu will rise and kick your ass. What other lyric did I have? It's like, you sold your morals for an Eldritch abomination or something like that. Just basically a song shitting on Fuminori in general. I don't know if I'll do that or not, but it has been an idea that I've thought of for quite a while, because Fuminori's character just got under my skin, man. But again, props to his voice actor, because he really does a convincing role of this kind of cold, detached, kind of, would it be sociopath or psychopath? Because, well, it wouldn't be either, really, would it? But, it's feeling towards other people. Anyone that's not Psy, he has that kind of outlook, where he's just like, sees you as nothing but an ugly nuisance. It's like, get away from me. Really, they feel like they could have had, another alternate ending where they just go to that cabin. But then again, Tanbo knows about that location, so they wouldn't be able to hide out there anyway, so. And I just wonder, with that ending where the apocalypse happens, I mean, how does Fuminori live in that world? Does he transform as well? You'd think, like, if all humans are going to be transformed, you'd think he would as well. Or maybe because he's the father of all those Eldritch abominations, he just remains the only human, which would be a bit freaking weird, wouldn't it? I know, it's just like, I mean, we only see it from Tanbo's perspective, the apocalypse, and she hasn't fully transformed. So it's like, so how far did the seed spread? It's like, what if they only spread over part of Japan? And then, like, the rest of Japan finds out about this, and it's like, oh shit, we gotta do something about this, and it's just like, you know what, we're gonna keep this hush-hush, and not notify the rest of the world of this possible apocalyptic event here that may spread and destroy, wipe out all of humanity. Now we'll try to deal with it ourselves. It's just like, let's send in stars. It's like, wait, Resident Evil series is made, by a Japanese company, but they'd be based in the US, wouldn't they? It's like, couldn't you send stars in to take care of this situation for us? I mean, I don't know. Or, they just kind of look at it like, yeah, it's a bit out of hand there. Send in the nuke. Well, problem solved. It's just like, yeah, problem solved. You just destroyed most of Japan. It's like, well, it was being overrun with these Eldritch abominations. We had no choice. It's just like, fair enough. It was a pretty fucked situation that ending, though, wasn't it? But, that's what bugs me about apocalypses in fiction, is they only show it from one point of view. It's just kind of assumed that the rest of the world also falls. But they don't really show it, they just kind of assume. It's just like, the characters know, it's like, yeah, the world's fucked. It's like, how do you know? They just like, just drop in flyers. It's like, read all about it. The whole world's fucked. It's like, it's not just you. It's like, oh yeah, Japan fell to the apocalypse of, the Eldritch abominations, and so did the rest of the world. Yours sincerely, the rest of the world. We are fucked. Good luck. I don't know. But whatever, I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. It's relatively short compared to some of... let me actually check. Yeah, 60 parts on the previous... Well, actually, I wonder... You know what, I'll actually do some math and, on-screen put on the total number of parts in the entire Higurashi Let's Play as a whole. Because, Matsuura Bashi, which was the last answer arc, was 60 parts. Combine them all, it's gonna be a big number. It's probably the longest visual novel Let's Play I've done on this channel. I say this channel because, Clannad potentially on my main channel back in the day might outnumber it part-wise. Interesting. I'm looking at the playlist of my other Let's Plays. And even, the shortest one I'm seeing that was like a full playthrough was Himatsubushi, the Higurashi question arc, 20 parts. Okay, never mind, there were... Oh, well, duh, there were shorter ones when I first started this channel. It's like, let's start off with some obscure ones, like Emit Yandere-chan and Moonlight Walks. The latter of the three, which is just 2 parts long. Then you got Go Go Nippon 2015 edition, that was just 11 parts. So, this isn't the shortest Let's Play on this channel, but it is relatively short. I think Deathmark will be a bit longer than this. Because it's not an overly long one, but I don't know. Well, I suppose I just leave it at that. It's just like I never know how to end a Let's Play. It's like I know how to end a part, I'll be like, see you next time, viewers, see you next time, and that'll be it. But at the end of a Let's Play, I always struggle to find a way to, What is this anyway? Staff comments. Is this gonna open a window? It probably is. Yep. Well, never mind then. It just opened the page. It's like completely in Japanese. Have we looked at the sound library? Schizophrenia. Sabbath. I was thinking Black Sabbath, and it's like, that's not very Black Sabbath, is it? Let's see. Oh damn, we're gonna go overtime at this point. Wait, no, that wouldn't even be Black Sabbath footage. No, it'd be like... Can't remember any Black Sabbath songs other than that off the top of my head. Seek the Spooky Scape. And the song Side 1. Is that the one that goes la la la? As I mentioned before, when I was playing along to that, it's B and A. Those are the notes. It's like B, B, A. Song Side 2. It's a sin. In the sunset. Oh wait, let that play again. Yeah, it's a nice track. Shapeshift. Is that the battle music? Fuck it. Scare Shadow. Some atmospheric stuff here. Scream, savage. Now this is the battle music, isn't it? Yep. Silent Sorrow. Japanese. That's gotta be the credit song, isn't it? Garasu no Kutsu. Well, that Su is kind of small, so I don't know. Garasu no... I don't know what translates to. Wasn't that the credit song as well, though? With a 2? I don't know. Anyways, getting very close to 2 hours, so the recording would be cut off at that point anyway. So, on with the After LB Talk. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Definitely will be the next Let's Play whenever we get around to it. That's all from Sanity. Peace out.
Hello and welcome to the After LB Talk. Well, this was a pretty messed up visual novel to say the least.
Yeah, this was possibly the most disturbing visual novel that Blue Skull Dragon VN has Let's Played.
The Igarashi series has some real messed up moments too. And I guess this one might have been a bit more messed up than even that.
For how short it is, it sure packed a lot of disturbing themes in the story.
No kidding, I mean, it's almost like the story was going through a checklist of disturbing stuff at times.
The story was all built up to show that Fuminori is a monster.
I felt the story was about a man losing not only his sanity, but also his humanity as the only seemingly normal looking person in his world led him down a dark path.
That sounds about right, but, you know, I don't think Sai was completely at fault for that. I think Fuminori, you know, after having killed Suzumi, realizing that Sai's not human and, you know, that they've been eating human flesh, decided on his own to walk that dark path.
True, I feel like if he had instead taught Sai to understand and learn from human morals, things could have turned out very differently.
It'd probably still have ended in a bad end though.
Maybe, I mean, the story is a tragedy, so if anything, a bad ending playing out after Sai, you know, becomes more empathetic to all of humanity would, you know, be pretty depressing.
Another thing that would make a bad ending in such a scenario more tragic is if Fuminori had been a more sympathetic character that cared about other people, not just Saya.
He was just an asshole.
Well, Fuminori being an asshole aside, what did you guys think of the visual novel? Would you say it was good or bad?
For what it was, I figured it was pretty good. It wasn't a pleasant story, but that's kind of the point. Make you feel uncomfortable, which is something I feel this story accomplished.
It was fucked up, so I agree it worked for what it was. The story could have had better character development, though.
Yeah, I agree with both of you, and yeah, it seems like this author is not too big on fleshing out characters too much from what I've heard.
True, if Fuminori had been given some flashbacks showing how he used to be, his changing character would have been more impactful.
Koji seemed like a more fleshed-out character than Fuminori did.
Yeah, Koji went from a concerned friend to a man hell-bent on getting revenge against that friend for what he did. Then, finally becoming a very broken and paranoid man after dealing with Fuminori and Saya.
Agreed. I felt like Fuminori's character was like the Kubrick adaptation of The Shining, where Jack Nicholson's portrayal of Jack Torrance seemed unhinged a little too early on in the story.
You're saying that movie was bad?
No, I just thought of making a comparison. Fuminori, much like Jack, you just knew right from the start that they were going to lose their minds.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there. So, what about the Let's Play itself? What did you guys think of it? I thought it was pretty decent.
The reactions to the messed up scenes were pretty amusing, but the rambling, much like the bird in the background, could drag on at times.
Yeah, to both really. I mean, the bird is really interrupting this, but staying on topic here. I feel Blue Skull Dragon VN, he rambles a lot, but nonetheless, I thought it was a pretty decent Let's Play.
Indeed. So now with that out of the way, please welcome the guest for this edition of the Thrillby Talk, Saya.
Hello.
So, Saya, what did you think of this visual novel?
It was disturbing and tragic, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, but with a cosmic twist to it.
That's one way of looking at it. So, would you say you enjoyed the story?
Yeah, although it is sad that there was no perfect ending. I guess much like a comparison to Romeo and Juliet, this is a story that could only end in tragedy.
Hey, I just got an idea. Why don't we come up with some alternate endings to the story?
That does sound interesting. How would you have the story end, Echo?
Well, how about this?
だろうと、人を殺すと思うとブレーキがかかるもんだ。そこが僕の称賛でもある。
That wasn't exactly a happy ending, was it?
Yeah, I guess you have a point. A true ending that's, fully a true happy ending would, also include you and Fuminori still being alive and, not being a threat to anybody.
Man, Fuminori's an asshole. How about skipping forward to the part where Fuminori is about to push Koji into the well? But it plays out like this.
Time to die, Koji.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Blasted by the shotgun, Fuminori dies and falls into the well. Several days later, Saya, having grown suspicious of Fuminori's absence, leaves the mutated Yo and eventually finds Fuminori's dead body in the well. Distraught over the death of the only person who loved her, Saya allows herself to slowly die as she lays with Fuminori in the well.
That was even worse than the first one. That kind of sounds like the original Hunchback of Notre Dame there. How do you mention it? It's totally like that story. Oh wait, that's still a tragic ending. You want to create a perfect happy end of the story here.
Okay then, how about this? For when anyone dies in a story, Fuminori and Saya end up deciding to live off the grid to avoid having to deal with people. They settle on living in Saya's old hideouts, where they live off animals in the surrounding forest. And then everyone lived happily ever after. Except for Fuminori, who died of carbon monoxide poisoning several weeks later.
Do you want to die? Well, how about this? Vince play it differently. When nobody dies, nobody gets suspicious about Fuminori. He teaches her how to be more human in spite of his view of the world having become a living nightmare. Science starts to develop more human emotions as they spend time together. Despite her new emotions and feelings, she knows deep down that she would never be able to live in human society. Feeling bad for Fuminori, she finds a way to fix Fuminori's brain so that he can see the world as it really is again. While Fuminori appreciates her offer to fix his brain, he seems happy enough, as long as Saya is always with him. But Saya decides to do this anyway, making the ultimate sacrifice in the process, as this will mean that they can never meet again after this. As Fuminori slowly awakens to find the world back to normal, Saya tries to hide, but is spotted by Fuminori. To her shock, he still sees her as human. Looking down at herself, Saya discovers that she has transformed into a human being. Happy beyond words, the two embrace, and Saya joins society, having lost her previous form and abilities in exchange for the one thing she truly wanted, to be loved and accepted. From that day on, everyone lives happily ever after. Now that was a happy ending.
Kinda corny though.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of a classic cheesy miracle ending, but hey, at least that ends with everyone still alive and well.
How does Yo react to this?
Well, okay, I guess she'd be a bit depressed over that for a while, but she still continued to live, and eventually she'll find someone else to love. All that really matters is that everyone lives happily ever after in this alternate ending.
Well, it wouldn't really be a horror story, or even a tragedy. That's already played out like that.
I guess. It's nice to think of how things could have played out differently, though.
Indeed, so Saya, now that we've heard your thoughts on the visual novel, and also come up with some different endings, what are your thoughts on this Let's Play itself?
I thought it was alright, but why did Blue Skull Ragnarok and hate on Fuminori so much?
Fuminori's a piece of shit.
I suppose he did some nasty things here and there, so I guess I can kind of understand that. Hey, Saya, what does your true form actually look like? My true form? I don't know, this novel kind of left it pretty vague, huh?
I imagine Saya's true form looks a little bit like the final boss, Resident Evil 0.
Ah, now that you mention it, I can totally kind of picture that with, the very few parts of Saya's true form we see in the CGs.
Maybe, but I guess it's all up to the reader's imagination to determine what the true form might look like.
Indeed, well, thanks for coming on the show, Saya.
No problem, invite me again sometime.
What reason would you have for coming back on the show?
Oh, I know. I could be like the cosmic horror expert. I can show up whenever a visual novel video game has a Lovecrafty monster in it.
That's not a bad idea.
Right? Well, thanks for having me on the show. Bye.
Guess I'll leave it to Echo to wrap this Let's Play up. I'm out of here.
Yes, see you in the next one. Bye.
So that, this concludes this Let's Play of Sayonara. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. That's all for this one. See you in the next Thrillby Talk. Later.